We have a combined class today. I think B section has Gaurav Ahuja sir's class, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Rakshit. How are you, beta?
Ma'am, I'm fine.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Ankur.
Ma'am, today I thought again that will happen. That was happening that day.
No, not every day. Sometimes it happens.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Daksh.
Good
Let
morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Divyansh. Tanishka is taking entry for biochemistry. Okay, tell me, where did we leave the class? I think B and A are going together. 8B, what are we doing?
Ma'am, I wasn't there in the last class because I was unable to join.
I was missing you in the class. I thought you will
Ma'am,
join.
I don't know. Yes, ma'am, I don't know what problem was there.
Ma'am, I was
Ev-
also not
like
there. I
every
came
time I
at the
was
last
entering the
minute.
password, it was showing wrong password.
Okay.
Ma'am, I came at last minute. I
Huh,
joined at last minute.
I remember. Tanishka, are you there? Are you there? Just a second, please.
Ma'am, in 8th B, the last class we had done till the growth of national education paragraph.
Beta, is Tanishka there in the class?
No, ma'am.
I don't know, 3 names of Tanishka were there. From 3 devices, joining was showing. Chalo, let it be. Tell me, where did we leave the previous class?
Ma'am, in the previous class in 8th B, we did till the growth of national education. You had explained till here.
Okay, that is fine, fine. Okay, in 8th B, we were on chapter 8, education and the British rule, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. With see, with 8th A, I am doing question answers, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So let us
Yes,
do
ma'am.
one thing. Let us do one thing. क्या करें तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगा आधा आधा क्लास
Ma'am, I think that it is our arrangement, so you should complete the question answers. क्योंकि हम लोग का तो क्लास नहीं है ना, हमारा अरेंजमेंट है उन लोग का
कोई दिक्कत
क्लास
नहीं है तो हमें इस चीज का बेनिफिट लेना चाहिए ना बच्चे उठाना चाहिए कि नहीं उठाना चाहिए बेनिफिट अगर क्लास आ गया है तो क्वेश्चन आंसर्स let us do one thing, let us start chapter 9. Okay, you all have your
Okay,
books,
ma'am.
you all have the books with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, I am taking attendance quickly. I'll take the attendance.
Oh, ma'am.
And you start like silently you read on your own by the time I finish the attendance. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
All right, ma'am.
This is a better option. No? Aditya, your connections are not very clear. Huh?
Ma'am, I don't have my book.
You don't have your book?
Ma'am, I'm out of station.
So what to do now?
Ma'am,
You can-
just joining the class and listen.
You listen and you can always go for Google option. No, we can get the books. Is anybody having the PDF of this book?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am,
No,
any
ma'am.
of his friends can send him the pics.
Ma'am,
Beta,
ma'am, can I send it on the group?
हाँ बेटा भेज दो. I'll share it here. No,
Okay, ma'am.
you have PDF. No.
Give me only 2 minutes.
Just
Till that you take attendance.
fine, Tanishka. Thank you so much, bache.
Welcome.
Abhiraj, Aditya Yadav, ये आदित्य राव आदित्य यादव ही तो है.
Yes, ma'am.
Present बोलो. हाँ, अखिलेश, okay. आलेख, अनुकृति, अनुष्का गुप्ता, आर्यन गुप्ता, हाँ, आर्यन गुप्ता, are you there? आयुष भारद्वाज, भव्या दीक्षित, Daksh, Hiba, Ilma, are you there? Jasmeet, Kavya,
Am I present?
yes, Daksh is present. Kumar Parth,
Present, ma'am.
Kushagra,
Present, ma'am.
okay, Kushagra Gautam, Maruf,
Ma'am, Kushak Singh Gautam present.
yes, beta, Maruf is not there. Agaz, Azan, Shoaib, Noor, Om, Priyanshi, Rehan, Then Roma,
Present, ma'am.
Sharad. Is Sharad
Present,
there?
ma'am.
Okay, Sharad is
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
Shreyansh,
Present, ma'am.
Siddhant, Siddhi.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Then Sumit, Tanishka is there. Usman, Vaibhav, Vanshraj Gill, Vanshika, Yashraj Raghuvanshi.
Present, ma'am.
Yashraj Raghuvanshi is present. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming to B section. Akshar is not there. Abhi is not there. Abhinav Gangwar is not there. Aditya Kumar not there. Ankur Gangwar.
I'm there.
Anokhi.
Ma'am, present.
Okay. Arsala. Arush. Arya. Aryan
Present,
Bhardwaj.
ma'am.
Ashish Yadav
Present.
is present. Arush is also there. Yes, Arush is also there.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Ma'am, you also are there.
Aryan Bhardwaj is also there. Then Bushra, Dhanendra Pratap, Divyang Pishra, Divyanka Verma, Divyansh Jain is there. Diya Gangwar, Fatima, Ishan Johari.
Ma'am, Divyansh Jain present.
Ma'am, present. Ma'am,
Yes.
Ishan present.
Ishan is also present.
Ma'am,
Very-
Divyansh Jain present.
Divyansh Jain is also present. Jaskirat, Kartik Gangwar, Lavish, Madhav
Present,
Paul.
ma'am.
Ma'am,
Kartik is present.
present. Ma'am.
Okay. Then we have Mushtabaullah Khan, Prachi Gangwar, Prachi Sharma.
Ma'am, present. Prachi Gangwar.
Okay, Prachi Gangwar is present. Pradyunsh, Pranjal, Priyanshi, Priyansh Agarwal. Priyansh Agarwal is there. Tanishka, have you sent the PDF?
Ma'am, only 1 minute.
Okay. Purvanshi Rakshit is there. Rishabh Gangwar, Rohan Rastogi, Sapriti Shukla.
I'm present.
Present, ma'am.
Rishabh is present. Okay. Sanidhya is not there. Shaurya is not there. Shifa, Shreya, Shrey, Varis, Yuvraj. Yuvraj Singh Gill. Yuvraj is present. Yuvraj is present. Okay. And what about Yuvraj? Is not there. Fine.
Ma'am, Maruf Ali Khan present.
Maruf is present. I have marked beta. Okay. Have you shared, Tanishka? Okay, Abhinath has also joined the class. Tanishka, have you shared the PDF? Let me share the screen. Tanishka is there or not?
Ma'am, she is.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, shared.
Ma'am, I have sent it.
Okay, fine. Fine. I'm sharing the screen. WhatsApp. Web. Okay, can you see the screen, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a good idea, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the name of the chapter is Socio-Religious Reforms. Now, what do we mean by socio-religious reforms? Can anybody tell?
Ma'am, it is about
I'm fighting
social and the
against
religious
religion.
reforms.
Okay, it is about the social and the social reforms. Okay.
Yeah. Ma'am, fighting against ma'am religion.
No, no, not against religion. Why against religion?
Okay, ma'am.
Socio-religious reforms, I believe, they are see, we all know that, in India, we have great respect for religion, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Vedic period, there are some, rituals which were being practiced. Slowly, slowly, they became part of the religious rituals, right? Now, these religious rituals which were there, when we talk of, like, if we talk about Hindus, we know, there is a lot of superstition. There are people like those who are, part of the temples. There is a lot of, idol worshipping. We Hindus, we always prefer, we always go for idol worshipping. Then there is animal sacrifices. Then, uh, in some religious practices, there is physical torture as well, in the name of religion. So all these things are done to appeal the god in the name of religion. So these and social life, like, during that time, if you talk of social life of that time, you will realize that, during that time, the social practices that were there in the country, they were quite disheartening. They were these practices were such that where people were into all kind of, wrong practices because of the superstition only. There were practices which were there in the country, sorry, in the society. Now, what kind of practices were there? Can anybody tell me when we talk of the society? Anybody in the class?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell.
Ma'am, may I tell?
Yes.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, women infanticide and polygamy.
Okay, women infanticide was there.
ma'am, the Sati and the Devdasi system also.
Okay, the Sati and the Devdasi system was also there, right? What else?
Ma'am, dowry.
Ma'am,
Dowry, very good.
polygamy.
Okay.
Ma'am, Parda
Poly-
system.
Parda system was also there, very good.
Ma'am, infanticide.
Child marriage.
Child marriage was there. Infanticide was there.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
sati system.
Ma'am,
polygamy.
illiteracy.
Illiteracy, of course, was prevalent.
Ma'am,
That is why
sati
all these
system.
Child marriage.
Sati, right. Now all these practices which were there, they were, these practices took people to, in the age-old times. It is because the one side we were talking about the education, about the Western system of education, and on the other hand, we were into all those practices which were quite obsolete, which were not welcomed by any literate person or a knowledgeable person. So these practices, all these social practices that were there, the religious practices, rituals that were there, there was reform which was introduced in both the religious practices and the social practices which were there. So in this chapter we are going to read about what were these practices and who all were behind the reforms, who took the initiative to bring changes. Like, in the present time, if you see, every now and then, changes are introduced for better lives. During that time also, many of the social reformers, those who constantly were watching the practices which were there in the society, who were completely against these practices, these people felt that having these practices will never allow the country to progress. Till the time we are all stick to these age-old practices, we need to bring changes in that. So for that, many of the people, like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, then Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, many of the people of different communities, of different religion, they tried to bring changes in the practices that were there in the society. Like sati system, if you see, Raja Ram Mohan Roy was strictly against this sati practice that was there in the society. Because now, what, why, when we see something happening around us, we try to bring changes in that, or we try to, change it, because we see it practically, and it becomes very difficult for us to digest such facts that we are getting education, but our minds are still of that orthodox thinking. So how to it was just that how to bring changes, how to control, how to renew the society with new ideas, how to bring the youth under the influence of the new ideas. All these we are going to read in this chapter of socio-religious reforms. This chapter exclusively deals with the social evils which were there in the society and how reforms were brought, right? Right, class?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
before we start with the chapter, tell me, do you know what is this? What was this practice of sati? How sati was practiced?
Ma'am, when the husband died,
Hmm.
they made the wife die too with the husband.
And the widow was forced to die in the funeral of his husband.
Yeah.
Hmm. Huh. See, sati was a practice in which the women uh, who had lost the husband was supposed to sit on the funeral pyre of the husband. जो चिता होती है,
Yes,
चिता
ma'am.
चिता के ऊपर उसको बिठाया जाता था, चिता के साथ बिठाया जाता था, या उसके लिए भी एक वैसी ही जो है चिता तैयार करी जाती थी जिसपे उसको बिठा के उसको हस्बैंड के साथ जला दिया जाता था। अब पुराने लोगों की ये मान्यता थी, ऐसा माना जाता था कि ये जो प्रैक्टिस है, इससे जो लेडी है वो हमेशा अपने हस्बैंड के साथ ही रहेगी। बट ये प्रैक्टिसेस वर एक्चुअली वेरी रॉन्ग। आप किसी, जैसे जो राजा राममोहन रॉय थे, उन्होंने देखा कि उनके जो बड़े भाई थे, कैसे राजा राममोहन राय इस चीज पे इंस्पायर्ड हुए कि भी उन्हें सती सिस्टम को खत्म करना है। उन्होंने देखा कि उनके जो बड़े ब्रदर थे, ड्यू टू सम रीजन XYZ वॉट एवर रीजन, उन्होंने अपनी उम्र से बहुत छोटी उम्र की लड़की से शादी करी। तो राजा राममोहन राय जी ने कहा भी कि भाई आप ऐसा कर रहे हो, अगर कल को आपको कुछ हो जाता तो इसको तो फिर सती कर देंगे। तो ऐसा ही हुआ। उनके भाई जो थे काफी उम्र दराज थे, उनकी डेथ हो गई, और जो उनकी वाइफ थी उनको फिर कहा गया कि भाई आप सती होंगे। पर क्योंकि राजा राममोहन रॉय जो थे बहुत ही फर्म डिटर्मिनेशन वाले इंसान थे, उन्होंने क्या करा, ही डिड नॉट अलाउ द पीपल टू हैव द सेम प्रैक्टिस दैट वाज देयर इन द सोसाइटी। ही सेड शी इज माय भाभी एंड आई विल एंश्योर। यस अविनाथ, व्हाट इज योर प्रॉब्लम?
When Raja Rammohan Roy ma'am told that my bhabhi's galti is this only, that he has married to my brother.
So,
This was only.
okay, yes. He said that it is not her fault. It is her parents' fault that they got her married to a aged person, and they did not even ensure that whether the person was healthy or not. So he was adamant, and he did not allow people to take her to the husband's, funeral pyre. So there he safeguarded her. He safeguarded his bhabhi, but then he said that I am, because this practice is there in my family, that is why I could raise a question on that. He said that there are so many, people, there are many families, many girls who have to die every day like this. So he, along with William Bentinck was, one of the governor generals that time. Uh, with the help of William Bentinck, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he brought us, act which stated that anybody practicing sati will be punished, severely punished under law. This is how, sati system was abolished in our country, only by the efforts of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then coming to Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar, there, like Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar, he is considered to be, a pioneer. He's considered to be a eminent person in introducing widow remarriages. Right? He also opened many colleges and schools for the women, so that they could be, given education. Like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, when he argued, like there were people in the society who did not wanted that this system, this practice should be abolished. Raja Ram Mohan Roy simply asked those people that, tell me where in Vedas or where in, text it is written, Shastras, it is written that the girl is to be burnt with the husband. So the reason given for this practice was that they said that because the girl does not know how to bear the responsibilities of the family, and she's not literate, that is why she is told to sit along with husband. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy gave a plea that instead of burning her, why don't you educate her? Give education to her. Let her also bear the responsibility of the family. And it was Raja Ram Mohan Roy who advocated the education for women, because he felt that, like many times I have also told you in the class, that if we educate a boy, we only educate a boy. But if we educate a girl, we educate a whole family, because the lady has to look after the family members. Then she has to teach the children also. So, and moreover, she is the one who takes care of everybody in the family. Like if you remember in class 7th, I told you a story about a lady, a real story about a lady who by mistake gave, instead of fever syrup to the son, she gave rat kill syrup, rat kill medicine to the child, because she was not literate. She hardly knew how to read. She only recognized the medicine with the color of the medicine. So, and the color of the medicine was same. The syrup of fever plus that rat kill medicine was also of the same color. Same bottles they were put into, and she by mistake she gave the other medicine to the child instead of the fever syrup, and how the child had to lose on his life. So these kind of practices are common if we are not educating the girl, because she has to take care of the family members, and if she is not literate, how she is going to take care, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
Raja Ram Mohan Roy simply, argued that if we educate them, there is no need of burning them along with the husband. Let her bear the responsibility. Then Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar, he was also like, he also saw a same condition in his family. He saw his elder brother marrying a young girl, because the family of that girl was not in a very good financial condition. They had 5-6 daughters. One of the daughters, they wanted that he should marry her. So he was married to that girl, and he was 60 years of age, and there was no, like there was no certainty how long that person is going to survive. So when he died, that girl was told to practice all those rituals which a widow generally practices. So he said that it is not the girl's fault. She should be allowed to remarry. But then, because this was not a practice in the society, people raised voices against that. Again, he had to fight. He had to struggle for the same. His struggle turned into a fruitful event when this Widow Remarriage Act came into being. And after the Widow Remarriage Act came into being, all the widows, those who were there, they were given permission to remarry. Though in actual practices, it was very difficult. People were not very, happy. They were not very keen to take these girls, because they felt that, they considered them as, what do you call, unlucky, because they said that they have killed, after the marriage they have killed their husband, in the sense they, the husband dies after the marriage. So they say, they used to feel that they are unlucky for the husbands, and whomsoever they were going to marry, the person is going to die. So these kind of beliefs were there in the society, which was very difficult to get rid of. So to get rid of these practices, Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar, he said that we will educate the I will give education to the girl, and I will ensure that they become independent. And once this Widow Remarriage Act came into being, many of the widows were remarried also. But then, this clause was there because they were not illiterate, education was not imparted to them. So he ensured, education first to them, and then the marriage part. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We are going to read about all these, practices which were there in the society, how people got rid of these practices, what efforts these social reformers had to take. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. Let us read now. Oh, who will read? Tanishka, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Tanishka, you read.
Ma'am, I have to read the box also.
Yes, after 1813.
Okay.
Didi.
After 1813, the British policy of non-interference in the Indian society and culture changed. This happened mainly due to the emergence of new ideas of rationalism, humanism, and liberalism in
One
the
second,
19th century. These ideas inspired British administration to take up the challenge of reforming the Indian society. India in 19th century. Indian society of the 19th century was in a grip of several social and religious evils. Caste system was prevalent in many parts of the country, and it was the cause of much of misery for the lower sections of the society. Condition of women. The position of a woman in the society was deplorable due to the prevalence of practices such as sati, infanticide, purdah, devdasi system, polygamy, child marriage, and illiteracy. Women had to follow the customs of the husband's household. After her husband's death, she was forced to live in a difficult situation as a widow or become a sati, immolating herself at a funeral fire of her husband. Socio-religious reforms. For a long time, the British rulers remained indifferent to the practice of these social customs. It was in the first half of the 19th century that efforts were made to eradicate these practices. Many educated Indians worked to bring socio-religious reforms and to improve the conditions of women. Pioneers among these social reformers were Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Others like Keshav Chandra Sen, Mahadev Govind Rana, Dayanand Saraswati, Jyotiba Phule, and Pandita Ramabai continued their work and tried to improve the condition of women and lower caste. As a result, by the second half of the 19th century, there were several reform groups across India. Let us take a closer look at the social reformer movement in different parts of India. Bengal. Ram Mohan Roy's name is usually listed first among the 19th century. Reformers considered with the upliftment of women's women's status. Historians have often called him the father of modern India and the champion of women's rights. He worked tirelessly to reform the Indian society. He established the Brahmo Samaj to work for social welfare. The Brahmo Samaj campaigned against sati, child marriage, polygamy, caste distinctions, and untouchability. His campaign against sati aroused the opposition of the Orthodox Hindus who attacked him bitterly. Nevertheless, he was successful in getting a ban imposed on sati in 1829 under Governor General Lord William Banting. His work was carried forward by Keshav Chandra Sen, who tried to bring women into new roles through school and prayer meetings. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar championed the cause of female education as an inspector of a school. He set up as many as 35 schools for girls, many of which were run at his own expense. Ishwar Chandra was instrumental in the setting up of the first Indian school for girls in Calcutta in 1849. Efforts made by him in the field of female education were remarkable because in those days people prejudiced against women education. He also opposed polygamy and child marriage. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar made another significant contribution by leading the campaign to legalize widow remarriage. Despite opposition from different parts of the society, he argued the British to pass a legislation enabling the Hindu widows to remarry. As a result of his efforts, the Widow Remarriage Act was passed in 1856. The marriage of a widow and the first one from the upper caste was celebrated in Calcutta on the 7th December 1856 under the supervision of
Tanishka, what is the date today?
Ma'am, 7th December.
So it was on the same date that Widow Remarriage Act, when it came into being, it was celebrated by the upper caste in Calcutta on 7th of December, right? 7th of December. Today is 7th of December. So how many years have passed?
Ma'am, 34.
164. 164.
64 years have passed. 164 years have passed since this act came into being. Very good. Chaliye, continue, beta. Yes, Kumar Parth, what do you want to say?
Ma'am, I want to ask ma'am why it was written here the marriage of a widow and the first one from the upper caste was celebrated in Kolkata. Ma'am, why it was written ma'am upper caste only?
बेटा अपर कास्ट, ये जो केस ये बता रहे हैं कि भाई जब विडो रीमैरिज एक्ट आया तो अपर कास्ट जो भी रहे होंगे अपर कास्ट में ही जो है पहला ऐसा केस आया होगा जहाँ पे विडो रीमैरिज हुई होगी, इसलिए।
ओके
है ना। एक्चुअली क्या था बेटा, उस टाइम पे ना बहुत ज्यादा ब्लाइंडली लोग इन चीजों को फॉलो करते थे और ये जो कास्ट सिस्टम था वो भी बहुत ज्यादा रिजिडली फॉलो किया जाता था हमारी कंट्री में। तो जो अपर कास्ट वाले लोग थे वो एकदम रिचुअल्स और उन सबसे बंध जाते थे। उनको लगता था कि जो भी चीजें प्रैक्टिसेस आ रही हैं एजेस से जो हो रही हैं उन प्रैक्टिसेस को हमें खत्म नहीं करना है, उन्हें हमें एज इट इज फॉलो करना है। उसका रीजन